Since someone gave me the idea to rank Yusaku's main ace monsters, I'm gonna actually do something similar to that, going in the pecking order. So today I'm gonna be doing the rankings of the Yugi, Moto, and Atem ace monsters because their decks are pretty much shared, and they'll also be counted when they're separate, on worst to best based on their design in anime appearance, because in anime we could actually see the actual visuals of it. I will not be counting evolved forms because there will be many monsters with disadvantages if I do that. And since Yugi and Atem has so many special monsters to them, I'm gonna be specifically maining their boss monsters for this one, which are Dark Magician, of course, the main ace, Dark Magician Girl, the second main ace, the three Egyptian gods, KURIBOH, Blackluster Soldier, Gaia, Buster Blader, Valkyrian, TIMAEUS because it was his main ace for a season, Exodia because it was one of his main aces for a season until it got thrown away, Gandora, Silent Magician, and Silent Swordman because of Yugi Moto. So with all the main monsters being all listed, let's begin. And reminder, anime appearances only and no evolved forms. At the bottom of the list, which is number 15, KURIBOH. It's a furball, not my favorite design. Number 14, Valkyrian. I do like the idea of the magnets detaching and then just configuring all together to make one big giant robot. Although Valkyrian's design looks way too blocky, it's not really my favorite design, but it's okay. Number 13, Silent Magician. The Magician designs were never really my thing, and personally I think this one looks okay, a little better than Valkyrian considering that's not blocky. Number 12, Dark Magician Girl. Yes, as much as I would say waifu, I personally do not like her clothing design. She looks a little too cartoonish, especially when she's supposed to be the apprentice of Dark Magician, or Mahad. Number 11, Buster Blader. For a guy slaying dragons, he does have very bulky armor, and I don't really like the bulky armor design that much. Still okay though. Number 10, Dark Magician. Personally, like I said before, I don't really like magician designs too much, but Dark Magician looks pretty cool and pretty dark. And the armor clothing design looks actually pretty good. Number 9, Silent Swordman. Design wise is pretty good. I do like the sword and the armor is pretty decent. Number 8, Swift Gaia. I love my guy on the horse and I do like the horse with the armor, and also the knight armor looks pretty good. I like the spears as well. Number 7, the Eye of Timaeus. As much as I am a sucker for dragons, this Atlantean dragon looks pretty decent design. Not really my favorite design, but it looks like a very generic dragon. Personally, I prefer him in his knight form. I just think that looks cooler. Number 6, Blackluster Soldier. A tamer of dragons, and I really like the knight-like armor. Not really the sword design, but I do really like the armor design on Blackluster Soldier. Number 5, Exodia. Exodia looks like a protector of Egypt that should not been in chains. Personally, I don't like the design that much of Exodia. Yeah, it looks like a giant protector and it's a huge ass titan, which still looks pretty cool nonetheless. I also like the head design, especially on the crown, the Egyptian looking crown, and the Millennium Key on the chest. Really love that connection there. Number 4, Obelisk, a giant warrior with wings. I do like its design, I do like those spikes on it. Pretty cool and menacing as well. Number 3, Gandora. Gandora's design just looks really awesome, and personally it's my favorite non-god ace monsters of Yugi's. Love the color scheme of it, especially those lasers all over his body. It's just kind of weird that it's with Yugi instead of Atem because Atem is a little more dark-hearted. But anyway, still my favorite non-god ace monster of Yugi's. Number 2, SLIFER, or Osiris. Very cool looking design. I really like red, as red is one of my favorite colors, and unlike the other Egyptian gods, I like how SLIFER is the only one that has 2 color schemes instead of just one plain color scheme. And the dual mouths do make it a little menacing, which I also really like the head design along with it. But not as cool as the number 1, Winged Dragon Raw. I really like the Phoenix Dragon design that also looks very mechanical. I get that you're supposed to unlock it by transforming it from a sphere to the actual Phoenix Dragon, which actually feels like there's actually a connection with the Millennium items with it, because you unlock it with the Millennium items, it can transform. At least that's what it kind of looks like. I know that's not it, it's a chant, but still looks pretty cool, and to me cooler than SLIFER because of the mechanical Phoenix Dragon design, especially the ring on the back and the head design. Personally, it's one of my favorite head designs as well. So yeah, Raw the Mega Ultra Chicken is my favorite Yugi Ace monster. Yes, I know that Atem only used it one time, but after defeating Merrick, it's essentially his main card as well. So that's it for these rankings. How would you be ranking Yugi's Ace monsters? And what other monsters would you consider as Yugi's main aces? Because he has a lot of special monsters that he used. But in many ways, I don't really consider most of those monsters as his main ace, especially some of these on the list. But at the same time, they're considered special enough to be his main aces. But I try to go with the main bosses in the deck, especially because Yugi and Atem use the most amount of different type of monsters that could be considered separate archetypes out of pretty much any Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist. So it does get a little difficult on which ones can be considered his true main aces. And then since we got Yugi Moto done, the next protagonist we're going to be moving on to is obviously Jaden, or Judai. And when it comes to the rival, many rivals don't really have too many main aces. Especially their main one is usually just their 3000 attack ace monster and maybe a second one and that's it. So I probably won't do it on all the rivals, but I will do it on the rivals who have at least 4 ace monsters, because 3 is too little. But other than that, see you all next time.